Let's not have another one of those meetings.
We don't live in
Yeah.
Good luck. Come see the Field of Dreams.
Yeah,
Our
gonna
color,
miss it.
and we got Adam all the way at the end. Hi, Adam. Good to see you all the way over
There's like
there.
even an extra chair.
Talking to the microphone.
Yeah, there is an extra chair. That would have been for Mary.
See another,
What?
you can start a meeting late, but you can't start early.
No, exactly.
That's,
You got another minute.
it's the wonderful world of government.
60 seconds is long, I know.
601-4, whatever. Yeah. ILCS. Yeah, right, exactly. I pulled in and the county was sitting in the parking lot doing his work.
They always do.
Good.
It's nice when I leave late at night, too.
It is.
It is. I like it.
Your clock's off.
According to Apple time, it's 7 p.m. I'd like to open the meeting for the Mchenry Township meeting for August 11th at 7 p.m. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Roll call.
Roll call Supervisor Barlow,
Here.
Trustees Mercado,
Here.
Shaver,
Here.
Bendigo,
Here.
Yeager absent.
It's all yours.
Okay. Moving on to 2.0 on the agenda is public comment. Anybody wish to speak this evening? I didn't see anybody sign in. Okay, we'll move on to nobody wishes to speak this evening. 3.0 is approval of meeting minutes. Do you have a motion for and possible action for the discussion on the meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion
Okay.
to discuss and possibly approve the board meeting for the minutes of July 14th, 2022.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Adam. Okay, any comments on the 14th meeting minutes?
I don't have There's still some misspelled words, but I don't make a big deal of that. Lakemore is spelled wrong.
Did you didn't get the new one?
I got one that says revised on it.
All right. I have to apologize. At the last minute, there was several changes. So Supervisor Barlow pointed out a few to me. I was, not to make any excuse, but we had to rush. We only had a couple days to get it to Mchenry Savings Bank. They required the minutes a lot faster than I was ready for. So at the last minute, within the last few days, and I put a copy in each one of your mailboxes with the up-to-date, the revised one. And I think you'll find that pretty accurate.
Is it in the folders?
It should be in your mail
It was
then.
in your mail then?
Put it in your mailbox. I have another one if you want to.
No, I just, as long as you corrected the,
I have it.
I have one right here, Dan. Danny,
It's okay.
I had ones that,
they look identical to me.
you probably want to give them to the public that's here.
It's fine.
Looks identical.
It's. You got it now?
Sure, they read them.
Did you get yours too?
Yeah.
You can share.
Yeah, they're identical.
Yeah, that's one, yeah.
That's the revised one
That's
she did.
exactly what we got. That's what I was looking at, originally.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's what she was talking about.
Right.
So,
The only question I got on the second page, because it refers to the minutes down the road, Trustee McCreadle said to correct, they said he thought Adam Shaver was a perfect for the job. When you said GOP, you said he was perfect for the job. I listened to the tape myself again today, to make sure I wasn't misquoting myself. It clearly said Mchenry Township. Thought
It did.
Adam wasn't perfect.
It did, I thought I corrected that.
That's the only thing I asked.
so your possible action is approval with the 2 changes so far?
Correct.
Lakemore and that sentence there?
Right.
Well, Lakemore was changed.
Not on page
Not on
two.
page, on our page.
I don't know what's going on. Deacon.
Dan Helios, like one.
It's on the second page, right?
Lakemore's one.
It's OOR. No E.
Okay.
So there's a motion on the floor, all those, with the 2 corrections to approve the 14th meeting minutes. Adam, you're going to go ahead and second that, just to confirm.
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor of the July 14th meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. 3.2 is approval of special board meeting minutes on July 6th, continued on July 7th. Do I have a motion for approval of those meeting minutes, or any discussion?
I'll make a motion to discuss and possibly approve the minutes for the special board meeting on July 6th, continued into July 7th, 2022.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ann. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for a vote for the approval of the special board meeting minutes. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Okay, 3.3. The approval and release of executive session meeting minutes on July 6th.
Executive.
Need a motion? Oh, wait, those, we have to go into executive session for that, right?
No.
We're in it for last time.
They're not, I don't have them in my packet.
They're in the smaller folder.
This one, right here.
Oh, God.
I pointed it out like a cartoon.
My bad.
That's really the discussion for the 2 nights when we
Yeah.
interviewed. So I need a motion and discussion for the July 6th. And can we pull these together, the motion and discussion for July 7th?
I'll make a motion that we approve and discuss 3.3 and 3.4, which executive session is for July 6th and July 7th.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of the executive session meeting minutes for July 6th and July 7th, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That passes also.
Are you approving for release also?
I see why not.
Yeah, I would assume, but I'd have to go back to the motion maker.
Make
I'll make a motion to release the minutes. The executive session meeting minutes for July 6th and July 7th.
Adam,
To
are
be
you,
released.
Adam, are you the second?
Yeah, I second that.
Okay, so, all those in favor of releasing the July 6th and July 7th meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, 4.0, motion for town fund. Dave, Bill.
I'll make a motion to approve the receipts and bills for town fund.
You don't have,
I know that. He does. I don't have that one.
well, he has to read it.
Oh, I understand. I wasn't gonna read it. I was making a motion to move forward.
Go ahead.
All right, so town fund. We, the undersigned members of the Mchenry Township Board of Trustees, certify that we have this 11th day of August 2022 examined and audited the amounts due for items specified in the claims attached and hereby authorize payments of the same. Total reimbursements to be approved, $7,093.87. Total bills to be approved, $10,660.36. Total bills paid prior to audit, $32,392.61. And the total to be approved, $50,146.84. With total receipts of $22,439.06.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Who was second?
Michelle?
Michelle. Roll call, since we're spending money.
Supervisor Barla,
Yes.
trustees Shaver,
Yes.
Macredo,
Yes.
Bendigo,
Yes.
all ayes, motion carries.
5.0, approval for receipts and bills for the general road and bridge fund.
We, the undersigned members
That would be John.
undersigned members of the Mchenry Township Board of Trustees certified that we have this 11th day of August 2022 examined and audited amounts due for the items specified in the claims attached and hereby authorized payments of the same. Total reimbursements to be approved, $925.25. Total bills to be approved, $16,959.07. Total bills paid prior to audit is $13,268.57. Total to be approved is $31,152.89. Total receipts, $33,690.26.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Supervisor Barla,
Yes.
trustees Shaver,
Yes.
Macredo,
Yep.
Bendigo,
Yes.
all ayes, motion carries.
6.0, bills for permanent hard road.
We, the undersigned members of the
Michelle
Mchenry.
makes the
Yeah,
motion.
what?
Michelle make the motion.
We, the undersigned members of the Mchenry Township Board of Trustees, certified that we have this 11th day of August 2022 examined and audited amounts due for the items specified in the claims attached and hereby authorized payment of same. Total reimbursements to be approved, 0. Total bills to be approved, $34,323.25. Total bills paid prior to audit, $23,818.69. Total to be approved, $58,141.94. Total receipts, $16,518.28.
I do have possible discussion on permanent hard road, and our order might be up with that answer.
You would be able
But I have a question I want to answer.
Well, we need a second
If
first.
you need a second and you
Okay.
can finish.
What does it discuss? Okay.
The discussion is after you have a second.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
You're right, then,
You
as
are,
usual.
you are the second. John's
Okay,
the
I'm
second.
Now you're up for
Now it's
discussion.
Discussion.
When I was going through the bills for permanent hard road, and it briefly came up quick in this meeting, it was shown to be a negative 104% rather, of the budget. And I personally don't understand how we could be a negative 104%.
Is that in the audit or in the bills?
It's in the bills.
No, it's on the, he's talking about the budgeted income statement.
Correct.
Okay.
At the end, it shows an operating, I don't have it in front of me. I think it's a net operating percentage. I don't have them in front of me,
Of negative
but do you have a
104.
copy of it in front of you?
No. Is it in the folder?
Yeah, let me go pull it.
I don't know if you can answer the question or not. I mean, since you already, I'm not gonna call it cook book, but did you catch the same thing I did?
I did, and I knew it was gonna be asked, so I think.
No. We didn't talk.
Of course not. I was too busy.
And this is permanent, or
I just can't, wrap my head around that number.
I'm sure the staff will be able to explain it here shortly.
That's why I'm asking the question.
I'm not sure if you can answer the question or not. This is what he's talking about, how it shows a negative 104 when we get to this on the balance sheet.
She's Sharon Jurgensen from Elder Costello.
So this is what they
Talk about-
approved for the budget. And is that
She's an
because
auditor,
property tax doesn't?
not our accountant.
We do that year-end journal.
Yeah, so
Also,
this
yeah.
negative 800,000 is actually I'm just trying to make sure I'm reading this properly, is actually a positive thing, because it's showing that your annual budget is has a deficit of 400,000, and you currently have 423,000 profit or income at the end of the year. So there's an $800,000 swing between those two.
Then
which
why
that
would it show
comes-
us a negative 104% profit?
Negative wouldn't give.
It's negative 104% of the
Yeah, it says,
used
it
amount.
clearly reads negative.
So it's 104% negative used, meaning there's 104% more than anticipated.
Right.
So there's more
So it's
income than there
more
is
than-
expense.
There's more income than what's being spent.
Yeah.
Correct. It is a little confusing when you have the negative there, but it's actually
It's
A good thing.
A
It's
good
on
thing.
the other side. See, on the other side of the accounting where the negative means a positive.
Okay, two
That's
negatives
what I
equals
should have
positive,
said
yeah.
first time.
I
Well, I was
read
trying to
that from
explain
Secretary.
why property
Yeah.
tax is once a year.
right.
Because
Yeah.
that
104% under.
Right,
Hey,
that
there you
goes to two.
Yeah,
That's what.
well, when you see a profit and you see a negative number next to it, it's like,
Right,
how can you have a
yes.
negative profit?
So,
Right, because it's on the other side of the accounting.
Right.
It's on the expense side.
yeah.
That's all discussion I have.
Okay.
Roll call.
Roll call vote for,
Okay, Supervisor Barlow,
yes.
trustees Shaver,
Yes.
Macreado,
Yep.
Benedigo,
Yes.
all ayes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Deb.
Thank you. Okay, any fund transfers? I did not see any fund transfers this evening. New business, 8.1, the review of the annual audit by Elder Costello. So it's just, I'll open it up, I guess, to the board to ask any questions that you may have, or if you have a short opening.
I can do either one.
Let's start with a short opening.
Okay.
You might
Sure,
answer some of
that'd
my
be
questions.
Just introduce yourself, or maybe somebody out and
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Sheridan
There's a mic
Jorgensen.
up there.
Do you need a
Do I
mic?
need,
I don't think
it's up to you. I mean, I can talk louder.
There is a mic.
My name is Sheridan Jorgensen. I am one of the partners at Eater Casella and Company. I oversaw the audit this year. So I will just take a couple minutes and just kind of quickly go through the audit report and then answer any questions you guys have. So first off, the audit went very well. Everything was ready for us. And more importantly, the records were in very good condition. There are some journal entries that we make every year, just things that we have to do for external audit. that aren't necessarily done internal. But there was no entries due to errors or misstatements or any concerns that we had based on that. So the records were in very good shape when we got here. There was a management letter issued, which you should have. That is just our comments or any concerns that we had as part of the audit. And there's different things we report on there. We have things that are called deficiencies. So things that we see in your internal controls, things that really should be improved that could cause fraud or errors in the future if they're not. The couple things that we listed are just other comments, things that we just noticed when we were out here that are not of major concern, and there was reasons for how and why they happened, but just things that we just wanted to point out, and just recommendations that those get taken care of. So one was just, there was a timesheet that wasn't approved out of the selection that we had, that we tested. And then the other one was just some bank reconciliations. They didn't zero out as they should, but there was a reason, there was some entries that were made after that. So everything was explained, there was no errors, but just things that we just wanted to point out that get looked at and taken care of next year. So in the audit report, I just wanted to point out a few things, and then obviously I can go over anything in specific you want. But the first thing in the audit report is our opinion, and that's really the most important part, and that is an unqualified opinion. It states that everything that we looked at, all the procedures that we did, that we felt the financial statements were free from material misstatement. It's the best opinion you can have under accounting standards. And it also talks in there about internal controls. And as I mentioned before, if there was any issues, we would absolutely be letting you know. We look at your policies and procedures, but we also make sure that people are following them, which is kind of the more important part. Yeah. And so sitting down and making sure those are all being followed, and there was no issues with those. There's good segregation of duties and enough approval that there's a lower risk of error, fraud, etc. Then in the audit report, there are a few sets of financial statements. I will say, starting on page 3 is the management discussion analysis. I would say if you don't read anything else in the audit report, that you look at that section. It's meant to be kind of a more user-friendly summary of what happened during the year. There's also parts in there that the township actually writes, kind of letting the public know what's going on in the future, etc. And so just a little bit easier to read if financials are not your thing. So, and then you'll see the financial statements in there and the footnotes. Really no changes. There were no new standards this year, so very standard report. So I will open it up if anyone has any specific questions.
Well, I have one. I think some people already know my question. I'm going to read it first. And Mchenry Township will request another increase in the coming year with support of the electors. Increase in taxes. Go ahead and read that. The goal is to get back to where we were prior to 2018. This will help with reserves. This will help build a reserve so that the township is not compromised in a compromised position. This will allow the township to give the electors the services they want and need. I don't have a problem with the last line. I just don't know where you got the information about we're going to raise taxes next year.
We get it.
Okay, well, how can, without board approval, how can we do that?
We do have to go through board approval. This is just an opinion of what we're going to do next year. It's not approved. It's just a statement that to go back to continue to provide the services that we're going to provide or have provided in the past. At some point, the revenue that we're bringing in today is not sufficient to sustain it. So the consequences that, bad choice of words, I think, the deficiencies in not having a contingency is not, if we are unable, there's a lot of things going through my head. If you're unable to get from one year to the next because you run out of money in our current situation, if we keep spending and providing the services that we're providing, we'll eventually run out of our reserve.
I understand what you're saying fully.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, yeah.
All I'm saying is I think that line should have been left out till it went through the board, is all I'm saying. Because that's a board decision on whether to raise taxes in the upcoming year. That's all I'm saying. No more, no less.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions?
Good job.
All right, have a good evening.
Thank you, we appreciate you coming
Yep,
out.
no problem.
It's very informative.
And I'm sorry about that, Gary, I was trying to...
No, I understand. I don't know where you're coming from. I totally understand. I'm just taking my notes so we get it right next year. Okay, that being done. No fund trans, 8.1 is done. 8.2 is revert, the review and discussion of Senate Bill 3789. I think all of you received a copy of that in your email or in a hard copy in your mailbox.
We all giggle.
So, as Mr. Fowler and I were discussing prior to the meeting, essentially the Senate Bill 3789, again, is for any levying taxing body. That would include a park district, that would include a library district. The only two that are exempt that do a levy are the county and any municipalities, like the cities, villages, but the townships are included. So what it really boils down to is every 10 years we have to do an efficiencies report. And right now, well, here I'll throw a wrinkle at you, is that there's two taxing bodies in the township. There's the town, and then there's the road bridge and the road commissioner. So he would have to submit the way the law is written today, and there's not been any definition provided from the state. There would have to be two reports written. So what we're inquiring is we can combine and submit one report. There's no format for the report to be turned into the county or anything. So that's another mess. So
Just send them one piece of paper that says, "We good."
Smiley, who are that?
There's no format.
no, we talked
I
about.
like how you're thinking.
Yeah, we talked about the timetable a little bit too, and you have to have your first meeting within a year of the passage. So we have to form a board, and you're all members of that board, by the way. Then there's two members from the electors that will have to qualify and have. Now you can do the 3 meetings are required. You can do the 3 meetings the way it's written before a regular township meeting, if I remember correctly. But there'll have to be minutes taken and everything else in regards to that meeting. So right now it's such in its infancy. There isn't any guidance coming out of TOI at the moment regarding how they're going to do it. So I have not reached out to any of my peers in any other taxing bodies to ask them what do they think and what are they going to do.
You said we have a year to get it done?
No,
Or
we have a
to
year.
start?
We have a year to start.
So the year started, what, July?
Yeah, it clicked off. I don't remember the exact date of the bill.
It's saying that by June 10th, 2023, the committee must be formed.
Okay, so we have until June 10th to form with the 2 electors, get them qualified, the board, and then set up the 3 meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Piece of cake.
it states that after the report is issued, the committee needs to be dissolved until it is reestablished with newly appointed members in 10 years. So does that mean that people that are on the committee can't be on the next committee?
No guidance has been given, but good question.
It says
I would
newly
read it the same
appointed
way.
members. But that would also mean,
Typically that means that you could
Yeah,
appoint the same
appointment
person.
is, yeah, you're disbanded. So hypothetically, if we were all still around in 10 years from now when this resurfaces, yes, the board is made up. We would be automatically on it. The 2 people from the electors would probably be different.
Okay.
I can definitely say I'm not going to be around.
So between now and June 10th, we should, in theory, get more information from TOI or whomever to be able to put this
I
together
wouldn't
properly.
count on any information until December
But still, before June 10th,
No.
we should have some information.
2023.
and then
That's
it
what
gives
I'm-
us
So you're saying December 2023?
No, we should hopefully have some guidance in December of 2022.
That's what I'm saying.
2022.
Yeah,
But we don't have to do anything until 2023.
right.
And then it
That's
gives
what I was
us
saying.
18 months at that point to complete the report and
Plenty of time.
provide it to the county.
Does that board get paid?
No.
No,
What do you think?
no, we're gonna have to
What's a
ask.
different board?
That is true. It doesn't say volunteer.
It's unpaid. The work towards it is unpaid.
Does it say volunteer?
No.
I didn't think so.
It's an unpaid,
It's voluntold.
yeah, it's an unpaid, so there is this,
Oh, it does, John, it does specifically say, members will not be compensated for their work. They may be reimbursed by township for expenses incurred in
See, there
performing
you
the
go.
duties.
expenses.
Yeah, we'll be in
Expenses like
Springfield.
travel.
Whiskey.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
I like how you think.
Yeah. I don't know.
Thanks, Ann.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, but, so that's kind of where we're at the moment. We're in a little bit of a holding pattern. I'm continuing to monitor that, and I'll provide updates as I get them. That's all I can do at this point. It's,
We received something when we go down
there's,
to that.
and I'll throw this out there. It's another unfunded mandate by the state, which is, great.
Yeah. I got all my notes
And,
somewhere.
and I'll just go on record as saying those that should talk about efficiencies are excluded. But, I digress.
You know.
Okay, moving on. If there's no questions about Senate Bill 3789, we can move on. Old business, discussion and possible action on updated park ordinance.
I forgot to send you my email. It's still in my.
I will make a motion for discussion and possible action on the updated park ordinance.
I'll second.
Okay, staff sent you all a copy of my edits. I've received 2 back, and I'm looking for 2 more.
It's in my draft.
I know. And so, just so my plan is to get those back, work with staff to incorporate your feedback into that, and then we'll send it down to the attorney for the legal rewrite, and then we'll go through and put it out to the public so that they have an opportunity to read it. I'd like to do it twice, but I know time is of the essence, and we probably should get it out there, but it's moving forward.
The whole new section about pets act today, baby.
So I'll make a motion. I made a motion for discussion, and that's all we've had. There's no action this evening.
Gonna be on the agenda next month too, or?
So do we need to make a motion, put it on next month's agenda for further discussion?
I can include it on there. I mean, we can if you want it, but I just got to make sure it's ready by then.
Well,
If it's
yeah.
not ready.
I just have to get some. Almost.
That would go into, for the next agenda
Yeah.
items.
Proposed agenda items, okay.
Yeah.
We'll wait till 10 for now.
So yeah. So 9.2 is discussion and possible action of athletic fees for the upcoming fall season. I will make the motion for discussion.
Second.
Okay, where we are with that is, the letters went out for the fall, just as they did in the spring. The letters did include the statement regarding the surcharge. What we need to figure out is where we are from an expense standpoint, going back to that sheet that you provided, and see how we're tracking versus our expenses. Once we understand that, I think we can make a better educated decision on whether fees should go up at that point for next year. So, and then we'll also look at the utility bills at the end of this season and determine whether or not there should be a surcharge based on increases that happened during the season. That's where we are on that. So there is no action tonight.
Well, the fall, like, right here.
Correct.
Well, we're not gonna make any increases in.
What
I know,
would
I was glad
you
Wires came
what would
out.
you recommend?
That's why I'm asking you.
I don't have any recommendations.
Well, we agreed
mine-
we weren't gonna charge the Warriors. We agreed that, I don't
Correct.
see us charging the Warriors anyway.
Correct.
It's a great organization. What they're doing there is phenomenal.
It's not just that they're a great organization, we do have a contract.
Correct.
So,
Yeah, but there was the concern that they're gonna use another field, so.
McCracken, right,
Right.
which would make the whole conversation moot. But at this time, they're still using our fields.
Well, the parks are like 15% of our budget, just the athletic fields. It's a document that everyone agreed to anyways. I mean, I just pulled a number out of my head.
Correct. So what we need to do is understand where our income is versus what our expenses are, and then for next season, make any adjustments that would be necessary. I understand the urgency for this year, but I don't know how I can't make an educated, say, increase of $200. And from where I sit right now at this moment is, if I'm going to increase my fees, I'm just going to push that expense into the programs, and the programs will end up with less kids because the families can't afford it. So we're walking that tightrope is where I'm at. That's why I made the decision to go ahead and release the letter with the surcharges on there. And what we need to do is look at what our expenses were and sit down and talk to each one of the organizations that's using our fields and say, here's where we are, and we need to work with them as to what it's going to do to their organization, what it's going to do to our taxpayers and everybody else. I just don't think to put a broad brush on it and say increase to $25 per use is the right thing to do.
Well, I agree with what you're saying somewhat, but it's just not the fields I'm concerned with. The park equipment, let's go there. They're coming with whole families to watch these games.
Correct.
So it's not just the ball fields we need to be concerned about. I'm just saying, I'm not saying we should necessarily raise the rates at this point, but we got to dive into it much deeper than we are.
Correct. Exactly. Absolutely. I've begun diving into the parks. I've walked all the park equipment. I have photographs that I'll be pulling together into a PowerPoint so you can all see what we're talking about in regards to the shape of the equipment. Three of the equipments are fine at Fox Road, Lake Street, and up here on what I'll call the top of the township. It's the one down by the sled hill that's 20 years old approximately, 15 to 20 years old, that's rusted and needs updating or replacement.
Yeah.
So
can't we do something similar? I think there's a restriction that we can't have some outside company like replace the equipment and, put branding or anything on it, but is there any way that we could do what we did with the garden and just see if any business is willing to donate to help fix some of that equipment? 'Cause I think it's in pretty bad shape.
We can, it is in pretty bad shape.
yeah, I mean, we can accept donations, absolutely, by all means. And the first step in this process is understanding what our expense is to repair it. So on August 18th or 17th or 18th, the playground equipment manufacturer's rep will be here and going to walk through the equipment and provide us a quote on what it would cost to repair that piece of equipment. And then we'll have a number that we can go out and work with community members on replacement of those items. It's obviously not in our budget this year. It would be an item for next year if we can work it in. But I think that the playground equipment, just as you said, John, is that the whole entire family comes out while a child is playing baseball, another child is in the playground, and I think that availability should be there. I don't think we should tear it down.
I think your only concern is safety.
Correct.
That's my major concern is safety. That's where it ends.
Yep. Any further discussion? We'll continue to monitor the situation and work with, but at this time I think I have to I'll be straight with you, I have to sit and talk to Terry about my walk around. The railroad ties down on the Lake Street Park all need to be replaced. There's a bench with no seat on it down there. So those items need to be addressed, and how we address that, short-term and long-term, are something I'm working on. Okay, so there's no action on that tonight. Proposed agenda items for next monthly meeting. We'll bring back the park ordinance, depending on where we are.
Okay.
I'm hoping to have it done, because you guys will turn in your information shortly, and then we can get it down there, and it'll give us 30 days. Anything else? Oh, no, go ahead. I don't have anything for the agenda.
Well, you're gonna do the, not just the update on the equipment, and what we're gonna do with the, robot equipment
You
itself.
want to,
Well, you're meeting with the gentleman on August 17th. Or-
Yeah.
Have some information.
Yeah.
And give some information. What-
yeah.
Yeah, you'll have the pictures by then.
So you want to, okay, on the park equipment report out. Park equipment report out.
Yes.
I mean, I'm really concerned about the safety of it. I tried to write it.
Park equipment, what?
Report. Report slash cost estimate.
John, I don't think the monkey bars are designed for you.
I'm probably the one that broke the bridge.
Here we go. It's getting late. Okay, if there's no other items at this time, if you do have any items between now and the next meeting, if you could get them to us at least a week before the meeting, it would be nice, so that we can do some legwork on them.
To 11.0,
Yeah.
the general assistance report. I was talking to Debbie, I forget when I was talking, which day it was. She had mentioned that general assistance funds are getting low. And somewhere down the road, we may have to transfer some funds. I'd like to have an update on that.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. you're getting there.
No. Well, I bring it up because we call it agenda items for next monthly meeting.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
You want, is that part of the proposed agenda?
Correct, that's what I'm saying.
And you want what on there?
A report of general assistance, where we stand with the money, and what the future looks like.
Prospectus.
Correct.
What was the question?
Prospectus on general fund.
How, go ahead.
What the perspective is on the general fund, and where are we going to be low, are we going to be short, do we need to do a transfer? He's looking
general
for some
assistance.
kind of report at the next meeting.
well, most of your expenses in EA, not GA.
Exactly, that's part of the discussion.
So, yes, it is
It's
on.
part of the discussion.
Well, let's talk about let's go to 11, and let's talk about the supervisor report.
Okay.
So general assistance rose 35% in 1 month. The number of cases that have approached us. Since the beginning of the year, it's up 76% from April to July. So if cases are going up, our expenses are going up. I don't remember exactly how many dollars we have budgeted, but that number of what we spent is in here every month. The cases on EA from April to July have increased 86% roughly, and it was a 24% or 29% jump in 1 month in emergency assistance.
I guess the question is that we didn't, look at and see that we were going to go into a recession, that the number of people who were going to need assistance were going to increase as much as they did. So the concern is what we had budgeted isn't going to be enough.
Yes,
So
so then you'd have to go to the
what are we looking
taxpayers.
at?
Next year,
No.
and ask for more money.
Actually, you can do an amended budget if you want, but then
You
you have to
can.
go through the full process.
Yeah.
Where you'd have to have a public hearing and all that. I can tell you that right now, I don't see that being a problem.
Okay.
But we are going to just get by or spend it all.
Okay.
And I can take 10% of a line item and transfer it if need be within GA. So if we don't spend all the general assistance that we allocated, I can transfer that into EA.
So at the moment, you think that we'll squeak by?
I think we're gonna squeak by. Definitely need to look at it for the upcoming year because what I've seen in the past, like with it in 2008-9, the recession hit us for like 4 years. And so it just increased over like a 3-year period. And then like the 4th year, mid-year, it started to level out again.
Okay.
So,
So
right,
we also-
exactly, it ripples, for
Yep.
sure.
We also administer the Salvation Army money here. That does not come out of our budget, and that's up 75% from June to July.
Yeah,
So,
I'm using every
available
avenue I can
resources
right
do
now
use.
to help people however we can.
See, part of that discussion is that we don't have to do emergency assistance, and we all know that. Now, I'm not really suggesting we do away with emergency assistance, but we have to make sure we have enough money for GA anyways.
You're gonna have that regardless. Yeah. I see the GA cases increasing, so right now you have 4 active cases. I've only increased by 1, but I see that increasing over time. But even if you were to have, say, 10 active cases at $325 a month, you're not gonna go through the money as fast. That is a flat base grant, and you're pretty much set at whatever.
Is that the same way for emergency assistance?
No. We have emergency assistance is set, and you guys should all have a copy of that, by category, depending upon what it is. Which means Gary review every 6 months to see if we have to adjust it for any given category. So right now, we have increased the rent assistance and utility because it has gone up so much. And we also so that was what we did in January, I think it was. And then just recently, we upped the gas and car repair to keep people working. And people losing their cars right now because they can't afford to pay for everything. So,
No, none of those adjustments require board approval.
no, that's strictly the supervisor's discretion. But we let the board know when we make changes, so. I mean, if you have questions, I don't see Gary having a problem.
No, I don't either, just asking a question.
Yeah. You approve the budget,
Yes, we did.
and we do break it down.
Yeah, but like I said, everything's gone up. When we did the budget 3 months ago, whatever it was.
Didn't anticipate this.
Yeah, we didn't anticipate all this recession talk, you know, and
Part of it was because we increased it, but I increased it back to the level it was 3 years ago when they eliminated it. Was it 3 years ago or 2? Prior board.
3.
it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, so we did increase it by $100,000, so. But we're gonna go through every penny of it probably.
As long as we got it.
Right, we have it.
And
It's
keep
there.
our sights on it so that we can adjust for the
Right,
next
that's all I'm
budget.
saying. Right.
Well, right, and I am keeping my eye on it. Because last month, I spent more money than I've spent all year.
I can imagine.
I was like, oh, this ain't gonna be good. But they can only get it once a year, so that's the other thing. So we're utilizing all the different agencies, and we're all collaborating together to get people whatever help is necessary. We're like some other organizations that are not restricted. Any government agency isn't restricted. So like your St. Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army, I can go back to them if need be, or they can help more than once. You know, because who says somebody's not going to have an issue twice in a year?
Especially this time.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, especially now.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then the senior bus service, the increase was 18% in ridership over 1 month. So I'm not sure if everybody's heard, but Northwestern Medical has eliminated their bus service. So we can anticipate, additional riders from that.
Yeah, we're getting them already,
Almost like it's a needed service.
right? You think?
Well, I didn't notice any budget problems with the senior bus program.
Pardon me?
The money's there for the senior bus program.
Correct.
Yeah, we're doing
Yeah, I mean,
okay with that right
yeah,
now,
right,
yes.
exactly, yeah.
And to let you know, we are getting ready to send off the grant for,
We
to
already
the
did.
county. Yes, got sent.
Northeastern Illinois?
No, this
Pardon
is,
me?
that's later in the year. We sent one to the
That's
county.
It's
Northeast,
not until March of next year,
yeah,
just so you know.
we sent the letter off, right?
No.
That's right. They're in their budget cycle right now, and so when we apply, it'll be March of next year.
It'll be March of next
Yeah.
year for Northeastern
Northeastern,
Illinois and
right.
aging. Right, because last year it was sent to the wrong email by me.
And then, so the county, and we've asked for a $10,000 increase.
It's the least we ask for.
Yeah.
Just the price of gas alone. Come on. Labor, we gotta pay the
That's
drivers
gonna
for
be a
more.
different conversation.
No, it's, yeah, it is,
Not at our meeting.
completely understand where you're coming from. So that's my report out. You all have the assessor's report on 12. Any questions that you want me to relay back? The highway commissioner's report?
So I saw that the Johnsburg Bridge, he noted in there, they reviewed it, and they're gonna plan the repairs by the end of next year, so that'll be open again? Okay, I wanna make sure I read that right, because it's
Yeah.
really scary driving through that.
No, it's dangerous when you get 2 or 3 cars wanting to make that left turn on the riverside, and they hit the hooks.
I see so many comments from the community wondering what's going on with that, so that the information isn't necessarily getting to them, or they don't know where to look for that,
Correct.
for when that bridge is gonna be done. So if we can kind of let them know that there is an end in sight, that would be really good.
Yeah, there have been numerous posts on what's going on in Johnsburg Facebook.
The only thing is you
about-
don't want to
Yeah,
put that
asking
there's an end in
questions about
sight. You
what's
just
going
want to put out there that it's in progress, because anything can happen from here until
No,
then.
I understand, but the information was, they reviewed it, this is what needs to be done. The estimated is this, we'll keep you posted. But it's just the.
It's on our website.
I know, but they don't always look there.
That's true, they don't.
So,
Yeah, make a Facebook.
anything we can do to get the information out to them.
Make it a Facebook post, then it'll
Yeah,
get
we can
shared.
throw it out on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, that's just, no.
Just a suggestion. And then we can share it in the different groups.
Yep.
Good suggestion.
Thanks.
I've been sharing a lot of stuff in the Wonderland group, so, recently.
Might hang around afterwards, I want to talk to you.
I didn't do it.
No, you didn't. Any reason for executive session this evening?
None that I can think of.
Okay. Any board member comments?
Good job on the audit.
Well, that really goes to staff.
That's what I'm saying.
Staff does a tremendous job, so you need to, everybody in the office needs to be commended along. Correct. With Debbie. And it's, telling you, we're running on a skeleton crew. Getting on the inside where I am now, it's skeleton crew.
It is.
And it's tight, so,
We're getting it done.
we appreciate it and continue. And last thing, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
7:52.
Great, thank you. Wonder Lake Community Club.
What about it?
What is that all about?
It's a group of people that kind of just started up their own little group of a community club. They've been, I believe it started when there was going to be no 4th of July parade during COVID. And some people weren't pleased with that. And so they decided they were just going to start doing